we're going to be exploring something pretty colorful today, pun intended.
Oh, lay it on us. What are we diving into?
We're taking a deep dive into Amazon's Kindle Colorsoft Signature Edition.
Now, that's an interesting one. I've been seeing it everywhere online.
Right.
Are we thinking this is a game changer or just another gadget?
Well, let's find out. First things first, we got to talk about that 7-inch Colorsoft display. It's the big, well, colorful elephant in the room.
It's definitely what everyone's buzzing about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I noticed that Amazon is really pushing that paper-like quality. They use that phrase a lot.
Right. It's like they're trying to counter that whole e-reader versus real book debate. A lot of people, myself included, love the feel of paper.
It's comforting, you know.
Exactly. So I think they're trying to bridge that gap, saying, hey, you can have the best of both worlds. The vibrancy of color, but without that harsh, artificial feel that some screens have.
It's a smart strategy, especially when you consider how they're showcasing the device. Think about it. All those vivid book covers, illustrations in graphic novels, even kids' books, things that just pop in color.
They're really trying to entice those readers who might have been holding out on e-readers because of the black and white limitations.
Totally. And it's not just about looking at pretty colors either. They're highlighting the ability to highlight text in multiple colors.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That's pretty neat.
Right. So it's not just reading anymore. It's interacting with the text on a whole other level.
It's almost like they want to outdo physical books in a way. Like, sure, you can highlight in a real book, but can you do it in 5 different colors?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. It's all about the options. I can see students really liking that feature, especially visual learners.
Absolutely. Imagine color coding notes or different themes in a textbook. It's a whole new ball game for studying and engaging with the material.
Okay, so color me impressed with the display and those highlighting features, but let's get real for a sec. How's the battery life?
Yeah.
Because, you know, color screens and battery life, they're not exactly best friends.
That's true, but this is where Amazon really seems to have stepped up their game.
Oh, how so?
They claim this thing has an 8-week battery life.
8 weeks. Seriously, on a single charge.
That's what they're saying. It's pretty incredible when you compare it to tablets or even some other e-readers out there.
That's a game changer right there, especially for people who travel a lot or just hate being tethered to an outlet.
Totally. It feeds right into that get lost in a book for hours experience. But they do mention wireless charging, which is a nice touch, although...
There's always a but, isn't there?
Well, the wireless charging dock is sold separately.
Figures. Convenience always comes at a price, literally. And speaking of price, let's talk numbers. The Colorsoft Signature Edition is sitting at, what is it, £269.99?
You got it. And if you look at that comparison table they've got on the product page, it's definitely the priciest Kindle they've got right now.
Yeah, potential buyers are going to have to decide if those extra features are worth the extra cash, especially compared to the Paperwhite.
Exactly. That's always the big question, isn't it? Value for money. But it's not just about features and price tags these days.
You're right. People care about the environmental impact, too.
And Amazon knows it. They actually made sure to mention the use of recycled materials.
Oh, really? Where did they say that?
It's in there, kind of tucked away, but they're definitely playing up the whole sustainability angle, both for the device itself and the packaging, apparently.
Interesting. So do you think it's genuine, or is it just clever marketing?
It's probably a bit of both, to be honest. Consumers, especially younger generations, are really looking for eco-friendly options.
They want to support companies that align with their values.
Exactly. So by highlighting these efforts, even in a small way, Amazon is tapping into that market.
It makes you wonder if this is just the beginning for them in terms of sustainability.
Right. Like maybe this is just them testing the waters. If consumers respond well, who knows? We could see them making bigger commitments down the line.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. But let's get back to the Colorsoft for a minute. Who do you think Amazon is targeting with this device? Who's the ideal user?
That's a good question. I think they're trying to cast a pretty wide net with this one. You got your diehard readers, the ones who always want the latest and greatest gadgets.
The ones who probably pre-ordered it the second it was announced.
Exactly. But they're also making a play for families with this one.
Really? How so?
Well, they mentioned those child profiles, which are pretty standard these days, but they're also pushing the whole curated library thing with the Amazon Kids Plus subscription.
So it's a device the whole family can use, from kids to adults.
Precisely. And from a marketing perspective, that's brilliant. If they can get families on board, they're potentially growing their customer base exponentially.
It's a smart strategy. Position it as both educational and entertaining, and you've got yourself a winner.
So they're really going after a broad audience here, huh? But is this color display really a game changer? Or is it more of a flashy novelty?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, don't get me wrong, the tech itself is impressive, but will it actually change how people read, how they think about e-readers? That's the real test.
Will this be the moment when e-readers finally captured that visual experience of a print book? Or will it be more of a niche feature that only some readers really care about?
Hard to say. It could go either way, right?
Mhm.
Amazon's definitely taking a gamble here. It'll be interesting to see how the market reacts, whether this pushes other e-reader companies to do the same.
Yeah, will they have to adapt and come out with their own color options? Or will Amazon stay ahead of the curve on this one?
Time will tell. It's a really interesting time for e-readers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This Colorsoft has definitely given us a lot to think about. Thanks for diving into it with me.
My pleasure. It's been a fascinating conversation.
And to our listeners, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time.